Oh, well, hey, B. It's JamiThatsMe here. Welcome back to the channel. Listen, we have to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac, okay? So let us go ahead and do that. Make sure that you guys are coming into the video. You are liking the video, please, and thank you. And you're also subscribing to the channel if you're not already subscribed to the channel, all right? So we're going to talk about the latest episode of Real Housewives of Potomac. It seems like it's a Karen versus Jacqueline. It seems like it's a Jazzy versus Miss Jacqueline. Stacy, the people are accusing of being boring, and we got to talk about that. Okay, I want to know if y'all feel like Miss Stacy is giving a piece of boring or a whole lot of boring. Let me know your thoughts. But first of all, Mia and Karen, all of the ladies are still on their way to the lake, or the lake house, shall I say? And Mia and Karen pick up the conversation where we left off last episode, and they were pretty much talking about, the charges that Miss Karen got, and Mia wanting Karen to take ownership, for her actions, and admitting the fact that, girl, you was over here driving drunk. Like, okay, like, we need you to just accept that, okay, Miss Grand Dame, because you like to walk around like you're perfect, and you're not, okay, and we want you to own that one today. So she says that she won't be admitting to anything because the case is still ongoing and she's not going to be incriminating herself. Okay. Karen brings up Jacqueline. And before we even get to Karen bringing up Jacqueline, let me say this. In the beginning, I have wanted Miss Karen to be open. I've wanted her to be honest. I wanted her to acknowledge and take accountability for her actions of getting behind the wheel irresponsibly. Okay. I do think that those things can still happen. However, I am leaning more towards I agree with Karen in this moment. Okay. Especially seeing that Karen has been trying to get certain evidence thrown out of the case. Karen is fighting this. So, with Karen fighting this case, it would not do her justice on national television to admit to a crime, right? You can charge me all day, but I am innocent until proven guilty. You're going to have to prove me guilty, and I'm going to make you do your job because that's what you're getting paid for. Even if the verdict is that I'm guilty, child, do your job. So, I understand. And she said this last episode, and I guess it didn't hit as much as it did this episode. And yeah, she just said she's not going to incriminate herself. And I'm like, well, you know what? I can't even be mad at you not wanting to incriminate yourself. But I'll say this, okay? Should you move forward and you are found guilty of driving under the influence and any other charges that are placed on you, please step forward and accept the accountability. Okay. I do understand Karen wanting to protect herself in a sense. I think my issue has been with her primarily of blaming her parents, and the passing of their parents. And granted, I completely understand that, it hits people at different times. Everybody that talks about losing a parent, a loved one, a child, they never talk about getting over it. They just talk about, healing and dealing with it better because it is a pain that does not go away. Right. But the timing, it just didn't seem right. Okay. It just did not. And I'm sure she was grieving her parents. I'm sure she has missed her parents a ton. Right. But to put blame on that immediately was kind of like, yikes, girl, that wasn't a good look. Then when we get to the show, and now you're saying, oh, it's Ray. It's my relationship with Ray. Then you change it from it being about Ray to you being a person that gives so much to everybody else, and it all hit ahead. So at this point, we're getting 3 to 4 different excuses that's not necessarily adding up. Okay. So if you're not going to speak on it, in my opinion, say absolutely nothing. Don't even go as far as blaming someone or something or whatever that is. If you're going to say, I cannot speak about it, I absolutely just that, right? Don't give nothing. But the fact that you've given a little bit of Oh, it was, I'm grieving my parents. Oh, my relationship, I've held Ray down. We're going through a lot in our marriage. It's Ray. I need the support from him. To, I give so much to other people. Like, if you're going to continue to try to explain stuff, you are slick admitting your guilt. So, like, yeah, I did that, but the reason I did it was because I had a lot going on in my life. Judges don't give a damn about that. Okay? They feel like, and I'm sure everybody got some going on in their life. Okay? So I just feel like with Karen, I'm with you. You don't have to incriminate yourself, but just shut the hell up. Okay, just don't say nothing, because I understand Mia wanting more from you and accountability if you're going to place it on other things. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I get you. You don't want to incriminate. The case is still ongoing. It's not an uncommon thing that a lot of people that have a case say that because they don't want to incriminate themselves on any platform, public, private, whatever. So I do get that. But you need to work on that, okay, ma'am? You do need to work on that. And should you be found guilty, which I do kind of feel Karen will be. I do. She tried to get evidence thrown out, and that evidence is not thrown out. They're going to continue to move forward with that. So I think you might end up having some charge or 2 or 3. I don't know. But I don't think you're going to get off scot-free. I'll be surprised. And here's my thing, though. Even if you do get off scot-free, you have to admit, in my opinion, take the accountability. If you don't want to say I was driving drunk, just say I was being very irresponsible behind the wheel, to which I have to take accountability for. Okay? Do something. All right? And that's just on P. And it primarily, we're asking this from you because you are the grand dame. You do act as though you're perfect. So it's okay to, have faults. You human. Take the L, just a piece, and let's move on, okay? Now, speaking of L's, it seems like Miss Jacqueline, girl, I feel like she took a few. Because when I tell you, Karen, Miss Huger, Mrs. K, you got a Miss K, and then you have a Mrs. K, not to be confused, okay? Mrs. K, whoa, Jacqueline's out. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Okay, and I need to put that on a t-shirt. You can cry until the cows come home. I don't give a fuck. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, and let me tell y'all just a little piece. Karen was talking to that lady like that was her child. And I said, damn, I would hate it for her to Raven. Raven, have you ever gotten in trouble like that before? Where your mother she probably didn't say, I don't give a fuck to you. But maybe she said, Raven, you can cry until the cows come home. It does not matter to me. Okay? So I'm wondering, I was like, oh, girl, Karen. Oh, I'm here for it. Okay? Print that out, Karen. Please, can we get a candle with that? Okay, a shirt. If you don't want to do it, I might need to, child. Okay, I'm already lacking on my own shirts. I need to add to the collection. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get to it. So Karen brings up Jacqueline, and she says that she didn't like the fact that she was calling people, telling folks, or at least not. She didn't like the fact that Jacqueline was telling people that she called her and she was drunk. Okay, she feels as though this lady is lying on her. So stop lying on me. Karen brings up Stacy as well. And Mia was like, oh, yeah, where is Stacy? Let's give Stacy a call. Call Stacy. Stacy did not answer the phone, y'all. Let me tell you, Stacy took a very long ride from wherever she was to this lake. And, girl, I think Stacy could have been sleeping in the car. I really do, girl. That is a long ride. I am sure. And I don't know the distance, but, girl, you driving to a lake, girl, it's giving far. It's giving far. And I'm sure she was knocked the hell out. But anywho, Mia did not allow that to stop her to let Karen know that she thinks that Miss Stacy is uninteresting. Okay, she's like, yeah, she's not that interested. She's not really giving a whole lot. Okay, and Karen was like, are you sure you want to say this on behalf of the other ladies too? Like, cause that's your personal. And Mia said, girl, no, that's a general. That's what that is. Okay. It's a general. We all about feel the same way. All right. So that conversation is definitely going to come up again later. Now, Wendy, Jazelle, and Jacqueline are riding together. Okay. And Jacqueline says that Karen is upset because she's telling people that she called her drunk. And then, Giselle is like, I don't know why she's tripping. Like, Karen has called us plenty of times when she was drunk. And Wendy says, now, wait a minute. Hold on. Now, see, I would entertain this conversation. I would, but I don't want to do to Karen what she may have done to me when she said that I was not of Potomac. And I do remember, although I remember, she is not here in this vehicle to defend herself, ladies. Okay? So let's move on. Even though she's not in this vehicle to defend herself, Giselle, it's not going to stop me from asking you how you guys are doing. All right. And Giselle said, I mean, girl, we're going to be okay. But it's some stuff I need to talk to her about for real. And then Wendy said, well, can you do it like tonight? Like before my birthday? Because I need y'all to understand throughout this entire trip, I am going to remind you guys countless of times how much of my birthday it is. Okay. I am going to be a tad bit annoying because this is a bigger birthday for me. Okay. I'm going to be 40. So I'm going to be doing a bit too much. All right. I'm going to remind you guys. All right. Get it together. It's my birthday. It's about me, not about you. It's giving Maya. It's all about me, 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 me. Forget about you. You know what I'm saying? So that's the energy that I'm going to be on. So can you guys have the conversation tonight? And Giselle said, yeah. Okay, I can do that for you. So she's going to have the conversation with Karen about her pretty much double booking and also trying to sway the ladies into going to her event and not fully supporting Giselle's. Okay, and y'all was wrong for that. Just a little piece. Okay, y'all got me over here agreeing with Giselle, and I have to say, let me be honest. So far, I'm liking Giselle. Okay, y'all know I used to really like Giselle in the beginning. And I kind of get this vibe from her, and I feel like, I mean, she's not giving mean girl, which is what she tried to say that Karen was giving this episode. And I said, girl, you would know, right? Because you definitely turned for the worst at some point. But I'm glad that you kind of going back to where you were in the beginning. All right. Cool, calm, collected, not doing too much, because Ashley was there to do the absolute most. So I'm cool with where we are with Giselle. Now, Jacqueline. Jacqueline was like, now, Wendy, you ain't got no issues with nobody on this trip, huh? You done came into the season with like a clean slate, right? And here go Miss Wendy. Wendy says, "No, girl, I guess I don't. Like I'm good with everybody finally. But enough about me because we need to get into you for a little bit. Yeah, let's talk about you. And although I said Karen wasn't in this car to defend herself, neither is Josi. But I'm gonna bring her up anyway because that's just how I am. So I overheard Josi saying some things on the plane. Yeah, she was saying something about you being like a sidekick or whatever. I don't know what you guys got going on, but is there any beef? Right? So Jacqueline brings up, like, yeah, I mean, she did call me a sidekick or whatever like that, but make no mistakes, girl, like, there is absolutely no comparison when it comes to me and Josi. You're absolutely right. There is absolutely no comparison. And the fact that Josi has been on this show for 0.25 seconds, I am already liking her more than Jacqueline. And I don't dislike Jacqueline. I like her. But I am liking Josi more. I think for Jacqueline, the unfortunate part is your identity is wrapped up in Mia just a bit. Like, do we really know Jacqueline for real? Like, I feel like we don't know you. You are definitely given by way of. And maybe it's easier for Josi because, I mean, she's coming in there alone. She's not coming in there being defined as anybody's bestie, friend, constantly proving a friendship, sidekick energy. Like, I don't know. It's just different. And I'm liking Josi, okay? Now, speaking of Josi, let's get to Ashley and Kiana. So Kiana says that dating a divorcee or divorcee or whichever one, a man that's divorced, she says that it's not easy because he's had a lot of experiences that she hasn't had. And I do, when she made that statement, I kind of wanted to know more, but that's when Josi jumped in and says, oh, well, it's opposite for me and my man, like I'm 3 years older than him, whatever. Right. And I do believe that Kiana's man is older than her. So I wanted to know more about that. And I'm like, well, what makes it not easy exactly? and I'm ready to get into more of their relationship and their dynamic, right? But she did go on. Kiana let us know that she is working with him. I get he has a business or organization or something that she contributes to heavily. She says that she is the executive marketing director. I believe she gave herself a name. The fact that you gave yourself a name makes me question if you overstep your boundaries just a little piece. I do. I wonder if you may have overstepped your boundaries. Now, this is where Ashley Darby wanted to chime in and wanted to try to, relate, try to connect, I feel, with Kiana by saying that she too worked with her husband at one point. But I don't think Kiana is really feeling Ashley right now. Okay, I really feel like most of her conversation was directed towards Josi, but Ashley just happens to be there. Maybe she didn't want it to be too awkward right then, but she not feeling that girl. Okay, I feel like Ashley spent most of her time in the backseat quiet. Just, well, I'll say listening for the most part. She may have chimed in here or there, but most of it was listening. I think she could tell, like, oh, she ain't really rocking with me. Okay. And Ashley, I'm sure she's trying to figure out what she could get in and fit in with Kiana, understanding that you did invite your friend to your party to start some SHI. I do think Ashley feels bad that it happened to Kiana because her whole plan was for it to happen to Candace. Okay. And it backfired on you just a bit. All right. So I'm sure she may feel sorry about that. But anywho, Kiana works with her man. She says that he called her an employee the other day and it made her feel away. I probably would have felt the way too, knowing that I'm a boss, that I have my own business, okay, that is currently running as we speak. And then I make the time to come over and support you in your business, and you call me an employee. Okay. Well, if I'm an employee, make sure you're running that check. Okay. Now, I don't know if Kiana is getting a check or not, or if she's just overextending herself and just helping out or what. But, seeing that scene of her, being in his office and talking to his people and stuff, it made me think about her mom. And I'm like, okay, now I see why your mama is heavy on, girl, you need to get a ring. Okay, don't be cooking, slaving away, making cookies, making Swedish meatballs, and for what? Like, don't be doing all of that. Okay. Um, I do think that you're getting heavily involved, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just hope that more will come of your situation if it's a good one for you. So good luck to Miss Kiana and that man and that business that she's assisting with at this time. Okay. What else do we have? The ladies, they arrive at Mia's Manor. I thought that was a cute little fly little way to, put that. I was like, girl, that Mia's Manor. That's cute. I like that. Okay. They are welcomed to like a personal concierge. There were butlers, chefs, they had the whole nine. I thought that was nice. And they said they have assigned, certain people to each of the ladies. Love that. I think Mia did a great job with the location. And see, that's what I want to do. I was watching Queen's Court. Shout out to Patreon. We was getting into that show over there. First of all, y'all need to give us a reunion at least with this. Peacock, if you're listening, can we get a reunion at least? Because I'm trying to figure out what happened with the ladies and the men's, okay? Anywho, they did a lake house in Georgia that was really nice. And I'm like, oh, I want to go on a lake. I want to do something like that. Like oftentimes, it's always like going on a cabin trip or something like that. Girl, fuck the mountains, okay? Take me to the lake. I ain't trying to get out there in the lake, but I just want to lay by the lake. Hello, so take me to the girl, and it better not be Lake Lanier. We don't do that. Don't even type. Scoot back up off me. Don't put your hands on me. We don't fool over there. Okay. Period. But I'm here for the lake houses and stuff. Really nice. I think Mia did a great job. I think the house was beautiful, and the only thing I did not like were the bunk beds. Yeah, I didn't like that. They could have did a better job with that room. But I understand the owners will want to accommodate, kids and all that other stuff. I get it. But anywho, girl. All right, I had to do that. But anywho, it was nice, okay? Wendy is so ready to celebrate her birthday. She is turning 40 years old. And Karen is hating just a little bit. Just a little bit. Karen has been seen rolling her eyes. Karen is like, I am over it. And I don't know if it's two things. One of the both. Either Wendy is doing too much by constantly saying it's her birthday and you can't cry and you can't do this because it's my birthday, and oh, can you guys have the conversation, before my birthday and this and that. Either she's sick of that type of conversation, because I'm like, is she constantly texting y'all? Either it's that, or Karen feels a way that she doesn't always have a great birthday. Okay? It's always attached to some BS. All right. And then it could be that she's just being funny, because it has been hilarious just a bit seeing Karen over there rolling her eyes like, girl, okay, girl, like, let this be the last time that we're celebrating Miss Wendy's birthday, girl. We ain't doing no more birthdays, okay? But anywho, Wendy is excited. So the ladies find their rooms, and what we learned is that Karen and Jazelle are in the same area, but sharing the bathroom, okay? And Miss Karen is like, now how am I supposed to take a poopy if I gotta be over there with Jazelle? Like, oh girl, absolutely not. And Jazelle is just like, girl, it's okay. But if I gotta piss on the seat and make you sit in it, then that's what it is. And I said it can't be what it is. Because who's just blindly sitting their arse on a toilet seat? Who's doing that? You need to look at it first before you just sit down. But I see you was trying to be a little funny. Anywho, Karen, last year when she didn't get what she wanted, I believe the room was too small. I thought she stayed in that room, but didn't Karen leave and go book another room? No, I think Karen was planning on booking a whole nother room, but I believe Robin gave up her room to Karen or something like that last year. Okay. So seeing that she had to share a bathroom with Jazelle, she came out screaming. I thought she probably was going to try and book her another room somewhere. Okay. But she didn't. They're going to thug it out. Okay. Wendy walks into her room. To her surprise, it's balloons everywhere. It's time to celebrate. Okay. Jacqueline is walking all over the house, about to go outside to see if they got an outhouse, because she's like, where is my room at, girl? Why don't I have a room? I think at one point she thought she was going to be in there in the room with the ladies that got the bunk beds, Kiana and Stacy. Well, that didn't happen. She finds out she is going to be sharing a room with Mia. Oh, that is a key, because y'all shared one last year. Okay. And then now, or whatever year that was, and then now you're back to sharing a room, and then Mia says that you're like a baby or something, so she got to have you close for whatever reason. Okay. It's giving. Once I heard that, I was like, Mia basically saying that you're her do baby, and she needs to have you close because you're a do baby, you're a do girl for her. All right. So it is what it is, honey. But I guess being in a room with Mia is better than being in there with them bunk beds for Jacqueline. So there's that. Now, Stacy does arrive, and Stacy arrives right on time. For these ladies to have taken a plane, and for them to have driven to the location, and for Miss Girl to have driven the entire way, she arrives on time, just in time for everybody to sit around the table, okay? So they're sitting around the table, and Jazelle lets everybody know, like, hey, listen, my girls, Angel and Adore, are having a cap and gown ceremony, so I won't be here, okay? I will be flying out to go be there with my girls, but guess what? I'm going to be returning. And they like, girl, that's too much. She says, I know, but I'm here for this. Meaning, I have to let these producers know just how dedicated I am to being a part of this show. Okay, so if that means I gotta fly home and be, big mama, then I'm finna fly right on back with the girls, okay? So they know just how important this is to me. Jazelle don't want no beef this season. She ain't got no backup this season to be beefing with nobody. She does not want to be on the outs of this group. Okay, so she is at a place where she is clearing up all issues, and immediately. I like this Jazelle. I do. I like this Jazelle. Yes. I'm liking this piece. Okay. I know some people may still hate her, and that's okay. That is your personal. For me, it just makes me go back to the earlier seasons when I liked her, and I like this. Go ahead and resolve it quickly, because I feel like that's what most of the ladies would do. Like, yes, it could potentially carry over, it could potentially carry over by maybe a day or two, episode or two. But at some point, it's going to be a resolve, and I can appreciate that for sure. Now, after that happens, Jazelle brings up Josi and Jax. And she's like, oh, I'm glad to see you guys are good. Right. So this opened up the door for Jax to tell Jassy that she didn't really like what she said. Okay. She's like, listen, the ladies told me they overheard you on the plane. You were calling me a sidekick. Jassy said they couldn't have been doing that. If they was listening too hard, because that's not what I said. Okay. I didn't say that. That's not what I said. All right. Period. So Jax says, well, my thing is this. I actually felt attacked because I feel like a lot of the ladies are making this connotation that, I live in Mia's shadow. And I'm like, well, really, Jax, I feel like they make that because of how you've presented yourself and how Mia has also presented herself. I feel like we haven't really gotten to know you for real, for real. We've gotten to know you by way of as Mia's friend, but do we really know Jax for real? I don't really think we do. I really don't. So I feel like that's what you've given to the people. That's what you've shown yourself up to be. And that's how we see you. In the shadow of Mia, unfortunately. You know. So there's that. That's just what I'm thinking. Okay. Okay. Now let's see what else happened. So she says, okay, out of nowhere, she's like, girl, I just want everybody to know that I am, the main course. I am the full package. Josi says, and where are you giving that at? Baby, that was good. That was quick. That was good and quick. Josi has been saying some things to where I'm like, it's a kiki. And if Candace was on this season, her and Josi would be hilarious. Having the both of them wagging and tagging on the people, giving them, if they were together and it was giving freak and frack for real, I think that would be entertaining for sure. Okay. Let's see. Jacqueline gets up and when Jassy said, and where are you giving that at? She says the hair, the body, the intellect. When she did the intellect, I was like, something about this hand movement was giving flicked for me. And I just was like, I'm not believing it. I am not convinced, but okay. Beautiful woman. Jassy says, from the neck up, absolutely. Absolute hollered. When I tell you, Jacqueline, this was not your episode. You got wore out, left and right, for sure. If you thought Josi ate you up, wait until Miss Karen comes and lay into you, okay? So Josi goes on to explain what she says, and she said this year Mia would have a much better trip, or have an even better trip because she has a better sidekick or something. She did label herself a sidekick. She wasn't talking about Jacqueline, but make no mistakes, the shade was still there. The shade was towards Jacqueline when she said even better. So yeah, she was throwing shade at you, okay? Jacqueline says she's glad she's in her life. Because she knows that she'll always be number one to Mia. I'm glad you're there. And while you're there, know I'll always be number one. And see, when you say things like this, Jacqueline, this further lends people into seeing you as a sidekick. I know I'll be number one. What? Girl, what? Like this, these are the reasons why. Go back and watch yourself. All right. Then for you to be the pick me, in my opinion, and to turn around and refer to Jazzy as a pick me is crazy. I don't see her as that, not at this particular time. She's going to have to give me a bit more for me to see her as a pick me. If anything, I feel like she was just making fun of you. But Jazelle in the confessional talks like, what? We arguing over sidekicks? Like, who's the better sidekick? Like, what is going on in the minds of the people? Okay? Hilarious. But I think Jassy was being funny. Even though she was referring to herself, I do believe that it was giving direct shade towards you. But anywho, let's see. The ladies are about to hop on a boat. So Mia lets the ladies know, like, hey, we're going to get on the boat or whatever. And then we're going to have dinner. Of course, Mia brings up her homegirls, and they're going to be coming. And so Stacy is like, "So Jax, these are your friends too, right? Like you know these ladies, right? Because you've been around Mia for so long, and you claim to be her bestie since high school. Then I just know for a fact, you being the number one friend, that these ladies are your friends too, okay?" And she's like, they're her friends, but I'm cordial. I'm cordial with them, but like I don't really rock with them like that. Child, okay. So Stacy says, "Oh my God. So is that what it is?" Because Mia said that Jacqueline was a part of a group thread, I guess, and she decided to remove herself because she wasn't feeling one of the ladies or whatever the case was. So this is when Stacy says, "Girl, you have beef with a lot of people," and Jacqueline was like, "Oh no, baby, I don't have beef with a lot of people at all." And then Karen says, "Well, I hello, I would like to get in on the conversation, please. Can I talk? Thanks. Scoot back." All right. She jumps in and says, "Now, you know, I've been nothing but a nice friend to you. I've been a good friend. Okay. But you have not been to me. All right." Karen says, "You called me the night before my party, and you know that you did. And when you called me to ask me for some advice. And now I'm hearing that you're telling other people that I was drinking. When I was talking to you, girl, nobody on that call was drunk, okay? You're a liar. That's what you are. I don't want to hear anything else, girl. You're a liar." So then Jazelle says, "Well, Karen, if I can say, I don't think that she was being messy or malicious when she said it." Karen said, "Don't do that. Don't do that, BIT." And then Jazelle said, "Well, I don't want you to get mad." She said, "Well, I'm not mad. I'm far from mad, bitch, but I'm very passionate. I'm passionate when it comes to my reputation. And what she not going to do is sit up here and play with me. Because I will give her something to play about. Okay? Be very clear about it. I'm not going to play them games. Okay? Now, Jax tells her, no, she tells Jax again that you're a liar. And see, that's why I don't fuck with you now. Because you're a liar, little girl. So then Jax says, "Then don't fuck with me then, okay? Just don't. You don't have to, Karen, all right?" She says, "You're deflecting, okay? That's what this is about. You're deflecting, and it's a lot of things, that you're deflecting about, but it's okay. It's okay. All right? You can be honest about that, but we know that you're not, so it's okay, Karen." So Jazelle thinks that Karen is being a mean girl and deflecting. Jazelle, I don't think we needed this audio clip from you at this time. But I guess you would know about being a mean girl and deflecting. I don't think that Karen is being a mean girl in this moment. Potentially deflecting, and making it appear as though a person crossed her instead of focusing on, the real matter at hand, and that's her drunk driving. But I don't think that she was really being a mean girl. Okay, because I feel like if you see that I am on this show, I'm not talking about it for legal matters. Okay, I'm not trying to incriminate myself, regardless of whether I did it or didn't. Girl, I'm not. They're gonna have to prove that I did this. I'm not gonna get them. I'm not gonna throw them a bone. Period. And for you to put this out here, knowing that I may have certain stipulations or whatever the case is, then that's not cool. Because you don't want nobody to do that to you. You don't even like being called a sidekick to Mia. But you'll allow yourself and someone else to put out that I was drinking or whatever the case is. No, ma'am. And even if I was at home. I was at home. Okay? But I don't think that was very kind. Okay? So I'm sure Karen may feel like to her, because she said Jacqueline gave her a call. She may feel like Jacqueline came up with some type of scheme to continue to perpetuate the fact that she was drunk or whatever the case was by calling her. "You called me for advice." So now she may be thinking that was fake. You wasn't really trying to call me for advice. You were calling me so you could see what you could get and then turn around and spin the story. That's what you were doing. So I understand why she may feel like the lady was being fake or whatever. And I know, at some point, Jax does cry. And I think she was feeling the way that Mia was not jumping in to save her, because Mia was the one that really released it. She the one that said it. But Jax followed up, confirmed it, and reiterated it too. So there's that. And in order for Mia to say anything, you had to have told her something. So it does still lead back to Jax, right? So Karen tells her, "You're a liar." Okay. She says, "And I'll call you one all day long." I said, "Come on, Karen." She says she hasn't done nothing to her. Okay, for her to lie on her. She says, but you're a flipper, so you could shut up. Shut up. You're a flipper. I see you. So then Jax says, I'm not that type of person, but I'm not that type of person. Jax, you may not be that type of person, but that's what you did. And also, what you did give sidekick energy to me. If you're saying things in a sense to please Mia, that's what I think you're showing yourself to be a Mia pleaser. Like 1 minute you liking Gordon, he's buying you things, he's getting you cars or whatever the case is, looking out for you. Then now you want to make it seem like Ink is a better fit and Ink this and that. No, it seems like you're saying whatever Mia wants you to say. So when you have a conversation with Mia and you want to allude to the fact that Karen was drunk, you're giving Mia some ammunition to go at Karen with, and then you continue to say it while you're sitting at the table. Like, yeah, because even Wendy tried to check you on that or say something about it. You was like, yeah, but it was given a different Karen. Like, it's not the usual Karen, like, like under the influence. Like, it was something. So you was doing that, I feel, to please Mia and therefore possibly thinking that you pleasing the ladies too. It's giving Mia butt kisser just a bit. Mia pleaser. All right. So anywho, she starts crying. Mia telling her not to cry, whatever. Karen says, I don't give a fuck. Girl, you could cry until the cows come home. I don't give a fuck. I said, let's go, Miss K. Let's go, Mrs. K. So Stacy finds her room, okay, after all of this is said and done. Stacy goes, she finds her room and sees that it's bunk beds, but she's really excited. Mia threw them in the bunk bed room saying that they're in girlfriend boot camp. Well, I don't know what kind of boot camp you have Stacy in because Stacy is uber excited. Okay, she's always wanted to be in a bunk bed. I actually like that for Stacy. Y'all thought y'all was gonna get Stacy hot and bothered, and she wasn't. But talk about that man that she calling a friend. Did she go get on that ass? Okay. So Josi tells Jax that she was saying that whatever was going on, you're a beautiful woman. So they're having a conversation. She said, what I was trying to say when I said from the neck up was that whatever you got going on from the neck up, you're beautiful. And I can't argue with that. Okay. And then she says, but no, I don't like your outfit. I thought that was funny because I'm like, girl, it's an airport outfit. Like, everybody ain't fashion showing their best fashions at the airport. Not everybody. So anywho, Stacy and Karen talk. And of course, Stacy is telling Karen, like, listen, we're in this divorce process. And at some point, I'm going to have to tell my daughter. And I don't know how to do that. That's going to be real hard. I don't think that should be a conversation that Stacy has with her daughter on her own. I do think that husband should be a part of that conversation as well. Karen tells her that she needs to be honest with her daughter. She says, I've never been a person to blow smoke up your ass, okay? And then we hear Stacy says, yes, you do. So I'm like, was that an editing slip up? Because are you saying that you do feel like Karen blow smoke up your ass, or were you responding to something else? That was weird. Anywho, Karen decides to let Miss Stacy know right out the gate, girl, the ladies think you're boring. And I'm not even going to hold you. I'm just going to be very clear. The ladies think that you're boring. It's really just that simple. She's surprised, okay? Karen wouldn't tell her exactly who said it, but she said it's a general consensus. Everybody thinks that. Stacy starts to talk about her successes and things. And I'm like, what does your success have to do with your personality being boring? Not making sense, but okay. I mean, Stacy does give stiff to me. I said that before Jazelle even said that she called her stiff. I just think that we need to see more of Stacy's personality. I did like Stacy when she checked Ashley at the table, right? And it's cool getting to know Stacy, but I don't think that we're deep enough for me to really know if she's boring or not. But I see why the ladies are saying that, but she do give a little bit of stiff vibes, okay? She's just trying to find her footing, I feel, in this group. All right. Karen gonna say people like you, people like to hate on what they desire to be or they aspire to be. And I say, Karen, that's not always true. Okay, maybe it's just a true statement. The girl is boring. Okay, we'll just have to wait and see what she gives for the rest of the season. All right. Now, Josi, Stacy, and Kiana are getting to know each other while they're on the boat. And Stacy asks Kay about who she isn't cool with. And she says her and Ashley aren't fully in a good place yet. She says she thinks Ashley is a queen of aftermath apologies. I believe that was a flashback to the reunion. And she says that she pressed charges on Miss Deborah, and DC also pressed charges on her as well. And they're still, figuring that out. Now, Ashley asked Mia about her family photo that included Ink and Gordon. And Mia says that they were there in Lake Norman, and she says sometimes Gordon is good with all of them being together under one roof, and sometimes he's not. Okay. Um, Jazelle and Karen got clarification on that, and then they said they feel like that's a lot for Gordon to take in. Although that is a lot for Gordon to take in, I don't give a damn. Okay, wasn't Gordon married to his wife when he left her to go be with Mia? When Gordon opened up his marriage to let Mia smash on this man, what else did you think was going to happen? Now it's backfiring. You're losing money or the lost money. You're getting a divorce, and now this man is claiming to be the father of one of your kids. Okay, I'm inclined to believe that this could potentially be some karma for Gordon's ass, just a bit. Okay. Now, Mia, we need you to pick a Sunday and stick with it. Okay. Because one minute you're all happy and smile, happy go lucky in photos with Gordon, then you want to paint him out to be a predator. Which one is it? One minute you want to tell us that you're a boss and you're self-made, and then you want to say that he put you in position to have. What's going on, ma'am? I'm tired of your flip-floppy stories. And the fact that you're such a flip-flopper, like Jacqueline, according to Miss Karen, I'm believing that Ink is as well. All right? I do believe that Ink is as well, because what is really going on? All right? A mess. She talks about Gordon continuing to take his meds, but also still having episodes. She says one of the signs of, I guess, manic bipolar disorder. I think that may be what he has. But she says one of the signs of manic is excessive spending. And he likes to pay for things all cash, which was the G-Wagon that he got her. So he spent a lot of money on her, all cash, irresponsible. And because of that behavior, she's had to dig them out of the hole 3 different times, and at this point she's tired of it. All right. So that's what it is. But I don't know how to feel, because Mia, when he was having those manic episodes, I feel like you were enjoying it. You were enjoying it. You was riding around in your G-Wagon and letting him spend all the money and do this to that. Like, girl, whatever. Let's get to Kiana and Stacy, okay? I ain't got time for me and her lies today. Kiana asked Stacy about dating, and Stacy speaks on her friend, the guy that she feels loves her so much, and she says Ashley announced that she was dating, and she didn't like her energy of it. Ashley overhears this, and she says, Stacy, I said he was a friend. I didn't say you was getting a divorce and you was under a new man. That's not what I said. Actually, I do think it was implied, because the conversation was about divorce. So when Jazelle asked, if she was happy about the divorce or whatever, you said she got a new friend. You said it like, she ain't starting that marriage, girl. She got a new friend. She gonna be all right. Right? So, I mean, who else are we talking about? You obviously are talking about her new man. Okay? But Stacy, I need you to pick one. Okay, I need you to pick one, because when you were there, you didn't like the fact that Ashley outed it at all. Okay, now you're saying you didn't like the energy of it. Then you go on and you say that she reduced him to be less than. And I'm like, Ashley, you got me defending Ashley. I don't feel like that's what Ashley did. Yes, Ashley was being messy for bringing it up. Okay, I do feel like one thing with Ashley, she doesn't often let other people tell their mess. She has to do it for them or be involved in some capacity. Like, just slow down, ma'am, please, okay? So yeah, she says that Ashley spoke about him in the moment, and she took she said she took someone she cares about and she reduced it. I don't feel like Ashley reduced that. I think you did. Okay, you the one that called him a friend, so Ashley said that you have a friend. I didn't think that what Ashley did, I'll say this. Ashley was indeed being messy, but how she's wording it and she keeps changing it, for me, is a problem. Because Stacy, one minute you said that you care about the mental health of your daughter, which is why you didn't want Ashley to say anything about it. Then you go to Kiana and you say that you didn't like the energy of it. And then now here you are saying that Ashley reduced him. Somebody that you care about so much, she reduced him. Here's the thing, in my opinion. Stacy does like and enjoy the company of this other man, because it is getting her mind off of the divorce at times. However, Stacy, in my opinion, is still very much so in love with her damn husband. I do. I do feel like that. I think she's slowly chipping away with that love, but you know, y'all been married for over 15 years? That's not just gonna go away. And I feel like this divorce is recent. It's just been a few months, I'm sure. So the love, I feel, is still there. And she's not fully over her husband and the fact that this divorce is happening. But she's enjoying the company of somebody else because he keeps her mentally occupied at times. And she kind of doesn't want that to get out, in my opinion, I feel, because if her husband decided, and I think I said this before, if not, I may have said it on Patreon. I feel like if that man told her he wanted that relationship today, she would drop that other man quickly and stay with her husband. Okay, so that's what I'm starting to think. She doesn't want the word to probably get back to that man that she has someone else. I don't know. But I just need her to pick something. Is it going to be the kids' mental health? Did you just not like the energy of it because she was being messy, or did she reduce it? Which one was it? Okay. Anywho, Jazelle is like, but her issue was you calling her messy. Ashley says, exactly. She don't know me. How you know? And I'm like, well, listen, you were being messy though. Okay. You were being messy, ma'am. Stacy says, you've been at my house, you've had your bunions on my countertop. Stacy tell the ladies about not being intimate for a year because her man is a devout Christian. Jazelle says she was married to a whore who believes in God. Mia don't believe Stacy's celibate. Mia could be right, okay? They talk about Stacy being boring. Jazelle said, I called you stiff. Mia said, everybody said you was boring. And Stacy says, I get it. I don't get bothered too much by things, like bunk beds in a room. And I said, well, you got bothered by what Ashley said, and you couldn't figure out which one it was going to be today or tomorrow as to why you was bothered. The ladies go back to the house, all right, for dinner. They tell Stacy to sway. I said, but y'all just said Wendy was slithering. That is exactly what Stacy is giving. Stacy is giving slithering. It's not giving sway. All right. Let's see. Dinner. Jazelle talks to Karen before she leaves. She tells Karen that she didn't feel like Karen was being a friend in return to her, and she has been. Karen said she needed her friends there for her too. Jazelle says, you said you weren't going to double book, but you did. Karen says she does regret not being there and tries to deflect, and says she won't take responsibility for her behavior, which was her kicking the girls out. Okay. You thought the girls was probably going to chime in, but I'm glad they didn't. Jazelle says that she has 100% been there for Karen, and she just wants the same thing in return. All right, that's it. It's dead. Moving forward. Okay. What Jackie said, Buffy, I apologize. I'm done. Over it. I don't know what Jackie said, but that's exactly what Jazelle was given in that moment. Okay, so she's leaving, and she's going to be returning. Mia's friends arrive, and on Wendy's birthday or birthday eve, Mia wants all her friends to go around and tell her a funny story about her. One friend talked about ink sucking on her toes. We could do without it. Another girl talks about preparing her to get married to damn G. And then you had another one sitting up there. No, then you had Jacqueline up there trying to talk about how she knew Mia. I said, Jacqueline, shut the hell up, girl. Stop that. Good night. You look crazy. I was there way before all of the ladies. I was there in the beginning when she was riding the hoopty and doing this and that. Girl, hush. Mia tells her about Joy and Karen going out. And she says one night when they was going out, Karen butt dialed them. And I would not believe Mia if it wasn't for Joy, the friend, agreeing and admitting that this did happen. Mia says that when she butt dialed them, they overheard her saying someone else. She said, the ladies think that I'm with Ray, but I'm not. Okay, so I guess she was with somebody else, and that's what they're alluding to, and we're gonna learn that in the next episode. Okay, but that's what all took place. So you guys can leave your thoughts and comments down below. Let me know your thoughts about everything that we just talked about. I'm Jami, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jami, that's me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more to survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden, they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.